Hello, we are Geeks Assembled and we are back again today. And tonight we are going to be talking about one of our animation casts. And this week we have chosen The Iron Giant. Let's go to Susan and Alex, see what they made of this film.
Hey, The Iron Giant was a surprisingly fun and rich movie. It was an adventure. It was about accepting a life form that was alien to a small town in, what is it, Rhode Island
Yeah, Rhode Island or Maine
or Maine, or one of the little teeny tiny little cities in this part of the country. And it was really quite sweet and fun, and it had a really big cast. But now that I think about it, I haven't a clue who was in it. Hang on a second, I'll figure it out, and I'll get back to you during the part for my favorite moments. So here's Alex.
It's not a bad movie, and it's very visually interesting. I heard that it's sort of a cult movie. It didn't do that well in terms of the box office. But I mean, even then, you could tell that it was different. You could tell that it wasn't the typical animated movie. It's a very good movie, as a matter of fact, and it shows a lot of characters. But the funny thing is, it has a little bit of Art Deco. It has a little bit of the Rocketeer sort of visual style, and it's also, except for one character, I actually thought it was very well written and pleasant. I didn't understand why the government guy got so. Well, later on in the movie, he gets very hyper and very hateful. And then I understand he's probably there to be the villain, but I thought it was a little strange.
Yeah, but I think, Alex, he was there to show how humans are. He was basically representing one side of humanity that just wants to kill. And because this was a very political film, and I think that's what was trying to be. That's what his character was trying to represent.
Right.
Those people who would just kill something because they were frightened of it.
Well, like I said, let me wait until it comes around again. I'll explain a little bit more of that. But I understand what you're saying.
Yep. Let's go to Stephen.
I've heard of the movie before, but I've never seen it. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was very enjoyable movie. And Lee did mention that, got all about it, that Pete Townsend done like a musical based on the Iron Man. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the animation was excellent. Very, very good. Like the story of it, how the boy came across the giant in the forest and all that. And I shall tell you my favourite moments later.
Yep, thank you, Stephen. Let's go to Lee.
I'm annoyed.
No, you're never annoyed. Surely, Yorkshireman being annoyed, never.
This book was written in 1968, I think it was, by Ted Hughes, who later became the poet laureate of, Great Britain. And I remember reading this book at school when I was little. I remember seeing it on Jack and Ori, read by Tom Baker, back in the 80s. Yes, I found out just this week. I didn't really know that. I found out this week that Pete Townsend of The Who made a rock musical of it, and there is a film out there of it as well. The book and everything like that was set in England, You come to the 1999 movie, and it's all changed. It's in America, and it's the atomic age. Totally different to what the book was. I enjoyed the book. Don't get me wrong, I really did enjoy the movie. But why just take... Because it was called The Iron Man by Ted Hughes. But it had always been called Iron Man until America got hold of it and thought, oh, we can't call it the Iron Man because everybody will think it's the Marvel hero Tony Stark Iron Man.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, but there would have been copyright, wouldn't there, probably?
Yeah, well,
copyright.
But we'll call it the Iron Giant, and we'll bring everything across. We'll put it into America. 1950s, the atomic age, duck and dive, take cover. Yeah, but that's my gripe about that. But with the movie, I did enjoy the movie, to be honest, I did. Yeah, the animation is brilliant. Yeah, the voice acting is brilliant. Yes, it took a very big loss at the box office. I don't know why, to be honest. Why did people go to see this? It is a good story. The way it was retold for the American audience, good story, and it wasn't too long. It didn't drag. It just bang, 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 bang all the way along. And there is likable characters in this. And yes, the guy, the FBI agent, the CIA agent. Yes, he was the villain of the piece, and he was made out that way. And he was a very laughable character because he was the one who got his comeuppance in the end. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a good watchable movie. It's a shame no one went to the cinema to see it. So over to you, Alid.
Yeah, well, I first saw this film in 1999 when it came out, and I would have only been just approaching high school age then.
Liar.
Yeah, because I went to high school in the year 2000.
Still lying.
Anyway, and back then, I didn't really get everything from it that I do now, because it's a very, very political film. If you think about the message of the guns, there's a very strong gun message in there, and I thought that was brilliantly told throughout the film, how the giant learnt about death when the deer was killed, and he was told it was killed by a gun. So he knew guns were bad and guns killed. And then he, when he went on the self-defense, he was told, he was a gun, so he ran off. And then there's a scene later on where he thinks the kid is dead. And I just thought that the whole film, how it structured itself, was absolutely brilliant. And it's a story about doing what's good and being who you choose to be. And he chose to be Superman, and I just thought that was brilliant because he had a choice, because he obviously had some sort of self-defense mechanism. He probably was landing on different planets to go and wipe those planets out, maybe, because he had some serious weaponry, didn't he? He had some serious guns and some serious firepower behind him. So I thought the film was absolutely brilliant, and I appreciate it much more now than I did as a kid, when you don't get all the political messaging back then. The animation, absolutely phenomenal. Just brilliant. The direction, absolutely phenomenal. The the voice acting, again, phenomenal. Just everything about this film is so amazing, and it is so well told. It's so tightly structured. It never gets boring. It never gets dull. There's never a second where you think, oh, this scene's lasted too long. It's bang, 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 as Lee says. And there's a lot of funny scenes as well. There's a lot of fun scenes, like where they go to the lake, and the kid jumps in, and then the Iron Giant jumps in, and then all the water goes everywhere. It's just, there's so many funny scenes. I just love this film. It's absolutely brilliant. I would say favorite moments, but everything in this film is my favorite moment. Absolutely, from beginning to end, I really enjoyed it. And I'm so glad that I chose this film to watch again. Yeah. But if I did have to pick a favorite moment, I think it would have to be that Superman moment where he chooses to stop the atomic bomb, which would have killed them all.
And that's coming from someone who doesn't like superhero films.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's just, yeah. Because he is a superhero, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Go figure.
So, yeah, but if a well-told film is a well-told film, and it's well-told, and it's very good. So what's your favourite moments, Lee, since you're muted?
Gosh. I do like when I can't remember the name of the guy of the scrapyard.
The
The name of the character, but played by Harry Connick Jr. If anybody
the squirrel
knows,
down his pants, yeah.
Harry Connick Jr. is most known for his jazz singing. He sort of reinvented sort of jazz back in the early 90s. The scene where he says to the young kid, what, if you had the guy like that, what would you want him, want him to do? And there you go. Then the next scene is you see him whizzing round in the car with the G-force. That is so funny. And then by the end of it, he's nearly been sick. I mean, the animation is good, but you can tell it's Warner Brothers animation. You can really tell there is a big difference between Warner Brothers, say, like Disney animation. You can tell the difference. Warner Brothers has got a set thing, and straight away you know that's Warner Brothers, that's Disney, that's so-and-so. And they don't veer away from that, which is good, I suppose. And you can tell it's Warner Brothers. I do like to say the voice acting is brilliant. I forgot the name. Is it Jennifer Aniston? Jennifer Aniston as the mother. Brilliant acting. But for me, it's the agent, the guy. I can't remember his name now. I'm no good with names. The villain of the piece, the FBI agent or whatever he is, the CIA agent. The way he goes into like madness, it's sense, and then all of a sudden he sort of delves into the madness and he's lost it.
Yeah,
that is so brilliant. And the scene where he rents the room in the house, and it's question all the time to the kid. That is so good. Then takes him off for a coffee. Question again. I just
and he's
love
following him everywhere, and he sits in the room opposite.
Yeah,
kid's sleeping and watches it. Yeah,
I just said, "I'll be watching you."
Yeah.
Morning.
And when the kid's on the phone, who are you on the phone to, kid?
It's very good. I mean, you also got as well the voice of the Iron Giant as well, Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Doesn't say much, but it's Vin Diesel. It's an enjoyable movie, but as I say, it's totally different from the English version of the book to what you get on screen. And Ted Hughes did write a sequel to this I think it was in the mid-90s, I think, called The Iron... Was it The Iron Woman, I think it was called?
Oh.
Yeah. So,
But you could tell there was meant to be a sequel to this
well,
because of the ending.
It took about 30 years, but there was a book sequel called, I think it was The Iron... No, it's not. It wasn't The Iron Lady because that was Margaret Thatcher.
That's Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, let's not bring that up.
The Iron Woman. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, all in all, it was an enjoyable movie. But I'm just so surprised that it didn't do well in the box office, to be honest.
I think 2D animated films had lost their appeal because 3D was coming in. You had Toy Story in 1996, was it? Yeah. So, 3D was in fashion, coming into fashion, coming into play. I mean, you had Shrek in the year 2000. So the year after, you had Shrek.
Yeah, but isn't there enough room in this world?
No, there isn't. That's why they don't do 2D animation anymore. No, there is absolutely not. No.
Well, to me personally, I prefer that type of animation to what we get now.
Yeah.
To me, it looks more, I don't know, more enjoyable. That's just me. I'm an old fart.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Shut it.
But I did like the expressions of the characters as well. The expressions of how the characters reacted to things, and I thought that was very good.
True, yeah.
Let's go to Stephen.
Favorite moments are, excuse me, with the railway track. He tore up the railway track and the train was on its way. Like the way he managed to get it all together the time the train came. And part with you like the Superman thing. I thought that was brilliant. That's about it.
Yeah. All right, and let's go to Susan and Alex for favourite moments.
All right. Let's see. My favorite moments were when the giant is in the scrapyard, and they discover that the guy who runs the scrapyard is an artist. My mechanic in California was an artist. He made like all sorts of cool statues out of engine parts. Bruno Tomeno, and he was awesome. Anyway, so I love that part. I thought that was really something else. And the other people in this cast that were kind of like all over the place were Cloris Leachman. She played Mrs. Tenzedge, and then John Mahoney played the general, and he was in a lot of things. He was in, he was in a lot of stuff. Anyway, hang on. And Hogarth was played by a guy who may or may not be still acting, Eli Marienthal. But then there was Emmett Walsh.
Yeah, Emmett Walsh.
Emmett Walsh, who played Earl Stutz, and he was everywhere. I mean, he was a really big name. So those guys were in it, and James, what's this guy's name? James Gammon was also in it, and he was in a lot of stuff too. So yeah, the cast was really rich. with Vin Diesel, Jennifer, and Harry Connick Jr. and these other earlier stars, James Cameron, Cloris Leachman, John Mahoney, and M. Emmett Walsh. I mean, it was a cast of greats. So even though it was set in the United States, they still used some of the best actors in this country to do this movie. Pretty cool. And I like the part in the junkyard. Here's Alex.
Okay, so it was set in Maine, and it was set in 1950s. Unfortunately, as usual, they had a lot of issues not only writing it and raising the money, but I guess there is two different versions. They added 2 extra scenes that they didn't in the theatrical. And then I guess they wanted to add a rap song, which I'm kind of glad they didn't. That's the other problem with the 90s, is that like the 70s, it wanted to, put every little gimmick in there, which you don't need. Yeah, the critics loved it. It won a lot of awards. It's very visually appealing. Unfortunately, they also were supposed to have a tie-in with Burger King. That didn't work out. They didn't know how to market it. They wanted to add a rap song to it. That didn't work out, thankfully, because that would have made it very commercial. Not everything has to be commercial. Not everything has to have $500 billion. You're supposed to enjoy a film and a story and a piece of art, and that's what this is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that they didn't keep it to the original book, but considering that this was the 90s and considering that this was a children's film, I think they covered a lot of adult topics. And even the movie, I hate to bring up another movie, but the Michael Bay movie Bumblebee almost seems like it's ripping off Iron Giant a little bit.
Yeah.
So, there is still an audience. It's just that sometimes, too, screenings don't work out and the studios don't want to put up the money. And then the marketing sometimes doesn't work out as well. And they're paying a lot of money for that. As a matter of fact, a lot of the things I'm reading on the internet and I'm sharing with this group and other groups is they're wasting like millions of dollars on marketing instead of just releasing the film and seeing if it finds an audience. And they're wasting like $5 million or more on marketing, which that doesn't make any sense to me anymore. And
I
plus,
know, Lee. We should really really cut down on marketing for Geeks Assembled.
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah,
We don't have any marketing.
100.
But we do have a great Facebook group and page now that he brings it up. So yeah,
where are they?
Yeah. I'll show you. Anyway,
a Twitter and a Tumblr, and Lee does.
Yeah, and Lee does it as well. So
let's not go into what Lee does.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. It actually might be too adult, as a matter of fact. It might be on the same.
Can I just say? Just because it's animation doesn't mean it's for kids.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it could be written for both adults and kids. And there were other movies in the past, like Fantasia, like The Secret of Nymph, that have a lot of adult themes, and they actually had to cut back on a lot of stuff.
So, what was your favorite part?
Well, like I said, I like the fact that it was intelligent. I like the fact that they didn't sell out. I like the fact that it is a different movie. And I'm glad they didn't include a rap number. Not everything needs a rap song. Yeah, not everything needs a rap song. If I want rap, I know where I can, look for it. And like I said, yeah, go ahead. It's an adult. Yeah, it's
Greg's. If you want to rap.
That?
Greg's, if you want to rap.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a pleasant movie. As a matter of fact, I'll quickly end this. I actually worked for the Warner Brothers store. They had one in Boston. And all they kept pushing on people was Tasmania, which wasn't a bad animated show, and the Pokemon nonsense. And I get so tired of
don't knock Pokemon.
All day long. Enough, Yeah.
We're reviewing Pokemon very soon.
Yeah.
Where was I? Can't even remember. I've been to everybody for favourite moments. Yeah. Yeah, like I say, for me, the entire film, there's not one dull moment in this film. But like I say, if I had to pick my favourite moments, it's when the deer gets killed, and he discovers what death means, and he has to explain. The kid has to explain to him what death means, and he goes quite deep into it. You know that you're gone, but your soul lives on. If you know what I mean. So that was good. And then when he thinks the kid's dead, and then when the Iron Giant sacrifices himself, it just leaves a lump in your throat, really. But when he says goodbye, and then he just pushes up into the air towards the rocket, and then boom, and then they do it, and they have a statue of him. They have a statue of the Iron Giant, which is quite nice. But of course, they added on the bit at the end where you see the legs and all that hopping back to the head buried in the snow in Iceland. It's Iceland, I think it said, yeah. So, yeah, everything about this film really was a highlight. Let's go to final say and score. Let's go to Susan and Alex.
Well, if it's in Iceland, it's halfway to the UK anyway.
Yeah.
So it's on its way.
He's coming here. Oh, hey.
Yeah. I like this movie. I thought it was great. I'll give it an 8. That's the second 8 I've given today, because 8 is great, and this movie was great. So yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, I have to give it. I'll give it a 9 as well. Like I said, it's a shame.
No, she gave it an 8.
Yeah, I know. I'll give it a 9. Like I said, it was a shame when I worked for the Warner Brothers store that they really didn't push this. It was all Pokemon nonsense.
I like Pokemon. Would you stop bashing Pokemon? But Alex, will you leave Pokemon alone?
Yeah. Oh, I intend to. But like I said, they had no marketing plan for this, and it was a shame. And hopefully, people were curious enough on their own to. They only had like a few things in the store, and they didn't explain anything, and very few people looked at it and all that. They had like a very small portion, barely even 3 feet in the store to talk about the Iron Giant, and they barely advertised it and all that. So it's really a shame that they spent all this millions of dollars and all they're talking about is that other idiotic thing.
What other idiotic thing? Are you bashing Pokemon again? This can I just say, viewers, dear share, this is coming from a person that watches the Sharknado films and enjoys them. So he can't say Pokemon's a load of old nonsense when he likes Sharknado. And for that, the next animation cast will be a Pokemon film. So there you go, Alex, and you're joining. You're joining, otherwise you're getting booted out of the group. So there you go. Let's go to Stephen.
Yeah, I give it a 9. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought, what does Alid? Before I watched it, I thought, what the hell is this about? I thought, I'm not going to like it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, this is why I threatened you to watch it. Viewers, if you don't know, I actually threatened him to watch it.
Threatened me to watch it.
Yes, I said I'd remove you from the group.
Please, no, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I said in the chat, I will remove anyone from the group who doesn't watch it.
All right.
Yes, I did. And you know I said that because you replied to me.
You didn't speak proper English. You didn't type it.
No, I wasn't speaking. I was typing.
You were Type in the English, I know. I get something from you. I really enjoyed it.
Right, let's go to Lee.
Yes, and I witnessed the typing. Yeah, it's an enjoyable movie, and I do as Ali pointed out, the message what there was given across about the atomic age and the problems it could bring was good. It was good.
And the guns.
And the guns and yeah, it's funny in parts. It made you sad. It made you watch. That is a good, if that and you enjoy it, it's a good thing. It means that the product has worked. Yeah, as I said, I just wish more people would have give it more time. For me, yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm giving it a 9.5 as well. I think
He gave it a 9.
who did
You just said you're going to give it a 9.5 as well.
as well as what?
No one else. You've just done an Alex. Alex went, yeah, I'm going to give it a 9 as well, when Susan gave it an 8. I have to say that was really funny. He really doesn't pay attention to anything.
You live on the edge.
Yeah, and Lee, it was called The Iron Woman. That was the sequel.
How was it?
And it's on Amazon, and they can get it on Kindle for less than $8. They can get the original Iron Giant for about $8, and I think the Iron Woman is just under $8. So they can get it on their mobile devices, as they say.
Oh, that's good, because that's equal pay for both genders, isn't it? That's good.
Well, slightly.
Equal price for both genders, yeah.
You say mobile. As he says mobile, we say mobile.
Yeah.
Mobile, yeah. What did he say? Mobile.
American.
He doesn't say mobile. He says mobile.
He says mobile. I say mobile.
Say mobile.
All right, well.
Anyway,
you get it on your Kindle and your Fire tablet and all that stuff.
Yeah. What about?
That's the difference between the English and the Americans.
Yeah.
Say aluminium. Say aluminium.
Aluminum.
There you go.
We say aluminum. You guys say the other way.
Say tomato.
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 Yeah.
Potato.
All right, let's call the whole thing off. we're all banned. Okay.
We're all banned from what? You're going to be banned if you don't turn up for the next animation cast.
Me watching Pokemon? No thanks.
Yes, you are.
I think I've already seen it because I worked for the store. That's why I saw it.
Well, you can see it again then.
No thanks. Anyway, back to the subject of the Iron Giant as opposed to all the other...
you do know what we're talking about, then.
Yeah, no.
You're actually going to talk about the film.
Yeah, no, I have been. Like Lee was saying too, there is a definite animation style as well. Even though, also that was the other issue with the film as well, that they, I guess they have DVDs now where they have added scenes and all that, which they didn't include in the theatrical. But it's not a lot of minutes anyway. But yeah, it's tough. Pixar and Disney and other companies have sort of taken over in terms of the animation, and it changed. I don't know why we need any more Toy Story movies. I think they did a good job for what they were. They probably should have more movies like this.
Yes, they should. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but like I said, I worked for the store, and Warner Brothers didn't know how to market it. And then it got confused with the Rocketeer because it had the same,
Oh
style.
yeah, the Rocket. Yeah, yeah.
You know, even though that was live action, and they wanted to make a sequel out of that, and it didn't do that well in terms of screenings. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why a studio just can't stand behind the product that they make. Some films are going to make a lot of money. Some films are not. Some films are going to be cult. Some are going to be cult for a bad reason. And that's the way it goes. You know, they can't all be, you know, $1 trillion money makers. I know they want to make money. I understand that, but you know, not every movie's worth $1 trillion anyway.
So, Alex, did you work for the Warner Brothers store?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it at all.
No, you just never mentioned it.
Yeah, because it was one of
In
the
this
jobs.
house.
I had to take the job just to get some money in, but thankfully I moved on as quick as I could. It's just, I mean, it was almost like Cheers. You know, the logo, the characters on everything, T-shirts, caps. You know, very American nonsense of having to have a logo on everything and all that. But like I said, I guess some people liked it, but I don't really think they're around anymore. I don't know how many stores they have anymore. But yeah,
No,
it was
they're
just
not
a
like
lot of
Disney where they have loads of stores.
yeah.
Disney
I
has
mean,
all
yeah.
those,
I mean, it was well. I mean, at least Disney has a history per se, and they have many different characters.
Oh
But
God, yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it was a very '90s. This was during the '90s. It's a very '90s idea.
Well, this film came out in 1999, so you must have been working there in 1999.
Yeah, yeah. I did. Like I said, I moved on as quick as I could. But like I said, the money that they
Or did they
wasted.
move him on as quick
Yeah,
as
thank
they
goodness. No, but the money that they you know spent on the thing was ridiculous. And Cheers actually has with it, you know, other companies had more reason to do that than Warner Brothers. So I didn't understand that either.
I've got to move on because Susan was wiggling her finger at me. So, right, now to my final say and score, and I'm going to give this film, I've got to give it a 10. I've got to give it a 10. It's an absolutely brilliant film, and it's well known in the animated community as being a very, very, a little power cut happened then, amazing film. So, yeah, it's got to get a 10. So I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Tell us below if you've seen The Iron Giant. Tell us what you made of it. Look after yourself. Take care. And we will see you next time.